Geek Tank Radio on 98.1 The Max.
Welcome, everyone. We are the Geek Patrol, and our microphones don't have a stun setting. I'm Joe Thorderson here at my friends Brandon Olmstead and Allan Gilbreth and our buddy Max over there behind the glass. And basically, we have a crowd in here today.
We really do.
Brandon, some are off mic, some are here. But
well, don't worry. The hecklers over there will be giving us all sorts of the business because we missed out on a very important date in geek history. But we'll get into that later.
Okay. All right. So we have Scott J. Carroll off mic,
right?
Although he's still.
Well,
as
loud as Scott is, you'll probably be able to hear him well enough. And I'm, where my energy level is, I may hand off the mic to him after a while because I'm about dead to the world.
Oh, good. Yeah. Let the listeners know
It's been one of those weeks, guys, but I still made it in here for y'all.
Okay.
I didn't run away like certain people who are trying to make money off spices.
You sound sick, too. Do you have a cold?
I kind of lost my voice back around Tuesday.
Oh, boy.
And it's just now gotten to the point where it sounds this good. I was like full on ASMR earlier this week.
Oh, boy. Okay. Don't get us sick.
It's not a sickness.
Healthy.
It's from yelling at people.
Okay.
It's been very, very hectic at work.
Brandon, you have a special guest.
I do. I brought in a guy who doesn't you wouldn't really expect me to bring him into our show. He would normally be like, one of your guys.
Yeah.
He's definitely a Tool Talk alum. But I've got Mike Sarapholian from Tri-State Interiors.
Hey, guys. How y'all doing? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about technology of the home because it's getting kind of Star Trek levels up in home. And we don't take nearly enough time to talk about, the techie part of the geek world.
Huh. Well, that's a good point. It's fair game, right, Allan? I mean, it's...
Have you seen how much they're pushing Wi-Fi these days?
Yeah.
And everything that can be done through it, not to mention China's got kung fu robots.
I mean, that
there we go.
Yeah, and I mean, when my dryer tells me, hey, dude, through my, come get the clothes out through my phone.
Yeah.
That's as technologically advanced as I want to get.
Or when it sings to you.
Wait.
No,
I can make it sing to you.
Yeah.
I know that the vent, the vent in my bathroom has a Bluetooth and randomly will pick up whatever's on my TV.
Wait, what?
Okay, so
a vent.
So I bought a vent for my bathroom when we did the dungeon remodel, and it's a Bluetooth and it connects to my television. I didn't ask it to connect to my television; it just does. And sometimes you're in there and it'll kick on, and all of a sudden, if you're watching something in the in the bedroom, it'll start playing across that speaker.
Wait, hold on. What? Why do you need any? So it's a speaker.
Well, yeah. Well, I bought
a mini Bluetooth speaker.
Basically, in the vent in the ceiling of my bathroom. Yes, it was the cheapest one they had at home at the big box store at the time, and I didn't even know it had a Bluetooth in it until I got it home.
All I got to say is I hope you're not watching an episode of The Pit.
Oh, no.
Why does it, Allan, why does a bathroom vent, a ventilation hood, why does that need a speaker at all?
I was installing a refrigerator a few weeks ago, and I get it all set up, and everybody's like, all right, we're going to hook this up, we're going to do that. And I kept getting a ping on my phone. And I thought it was like, one of you guys, right? So I'm ignoring it, going on, and we finally get done. I get the refrigerator turned on, and I hit my phone. It's the refrigerator. It wants the Wi-Fi password.
That way it can tell you.
It was doing some work.
Well, that way it can tell you when it's out of something that you need to pick up at the grocery store.
You see why we're talking about this? Because
this AI is getting way too
and
pushy.
That's the thing is Mike works kitchens, Mike works bathrooms, Mike works the technology of the house. So it was like, all right, we got to bring him in here because somebody's got to explain it to me why my privacy is being invaded by my vent hood.
Oh, and you have not seen an invasion of privacy till you see this year's models of Japanese toilets.
No. I have heard, and I'm a little scared.
It's kind of like well, I don't need to go to the doctor anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
I know what you'll hear. You'll hear "Toire yokoso."
Oh, yeah. There you go. What does that mean, Max? And
Welcome to the toilet.
okay. All right. Well,
Okay,
Brandon, we're all over the map. Why don't you focus
All right,
this,
so
this
so
conversation?
it's not that we're so much all over the map. It's the fact that home, everything else has evolved, and the home is one of the mainstay things in your life. Whether you rent, buy apartments, trailers, whatever, this is a place where you're going to spend the majority of your time when you're not slaving away in order to pay for this thing. And they have managed to put technology into everything in order to make our lives easier, or maybe just easier to spy on.
That's bingo.
Wally.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Data mining, right?
And exactly. And we've seen where that can go. But that's why we bring in someone like Mike, you are now an expert in aging in place.
Yes.
Which is all about making sure that people who may be convalescing or disabled or just introverted enough that they never want to leave their house can still have all the amenities that go along with a full lifestyle.
Sounds
Yeah.
like you described gamers, too.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. But that'll bring something up because I'll get booze out of the corner again.
Okay. All right.
All right, and I'm going to throw in we're going to do a little segment on the guy that accidentally hacked 7,000 robots.
All right. Boy, we're really, is that having anything to do with our home improvement
They were vacuum cleaners.
Oh, okay. All right. So, Mike, you're in the thick of things with this. So we're going to get your stories from the front lines, I guess.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
I wish it was Deuce that brought in and hacked the vacuum cleaners.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's a infamous Tool Talk.
It
listener.
is. It's a Tool Talk reference.
Since you brought it up, Max, I know people might be eating their breakfast now, but Deuce sent us a picture, a very graphic picture of what happens when your dog, let's just say, makes a mess in the house and the Roomba
Makes a bigger
encounters
mess.
it.
Let's just say that Deuce had to conveniently work late that night.
And we didn't post that picture on
Well,
our
I was going
Facebook
to say,
page.
don't worry. Most of our listeners have seen it on TikTok.
Yeah, pretty bad. So, that's right. I guess other people have
Yeah.
no dignity and they do post that. But anyway, high-tech homes are becoming kind of funny these days. But also, there's a lot of uses. So when we come back, we're going to visit with Mike Sarapholian from Tri-State Interiors to help us navigate this situation.
You're listening to Geek Tank Radio on 98.1 The Max. After tuning into this show, the men in black wipe their own memories. The Geek Patrol is back.
And welcome back to, now how do they remember that? And welcome back to Geek Tank Radio, everybody. I'm Joe Thorderson here with my friends Brandon Olmstead, the ailing Brandon Olmstead, and Allan Gilbreth, and our buddy Max over there behind the glass. And in the house, a man in the construction field from Tri-State Interiors, Mike Sarapholian, who, he's, as we said, he's a Tool Talk alum. He's also a geek, and he's also dealing with the rampant advances in technology and home improvement, right, Brandon?
Right. So we were at the home show a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And, Mike's there and he's set up. And I go and check out his display. And the first thing I see is heated floors in your shower.
Yes.
And all I can think to myself is like one of the worst things in my life, and this may show my privilege, is wet, cold feet. I can't stand it.
Yep.
And I was immediately, ooh. And you started talking to me about, some of the stuff that you're doing now, as far as what goes into, remodeling a kitchen or a bathroom or whatnot. And then we got to talking about aging in place, which we'll talk on later on. But I really want to know exactly what we can expect in a situation where, because 20 years ago, anything that would have heated up my bathroom could have also electrocuted me.
Yeah.
Especially with wiring here in Memphis, because people who used to build houses in Memphis were insane.
Oh, some of the things that I've seen, I'm like, I don't know how your house hasn't burned down.
Exactly. I mean, and it's like anybody who's listened to Tool Talks and y'all's 30 years of stupid knows what I'm talking about. If you've been in a Memphis house that was built anytime before 1990. It's put together with chicken wire.
Well, let's not generalize, but there have been mistakes. So
there have been many.
Yeah.
That's why we have code enforcement.
Yeah. There was a short period of time where dubious at best choices were made.
Where my former, my older relatives, were in charge of code enforcement, and they could have been bought off with a sandwich.
Mm.
Anyway,
yeah,
I'm not talking. We're not going to talk about corrupt Memphis, but yeah, I mean, how did we get to this point, Mike?
Technology making life easier,
right?
And people being frustrated with that cold bathroom floor. You get out of bed in the morning, stumble into the bathroom, and that cold tile floor wakes you up every morning. So
and we all wake up angry about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And now we have heated floors. I use Schluter Systems, and they have a heated floor technology where I can do it in the on your bathroom floor. Mm-hmm. I can do it in just a specific area of the bathroom. So if you want it right around your, say, vanity or right around your toilet.
Right.
I've done them on shower floors. I've done them on the shower seat.
Okay.
You have a large shower, that seat doesn't, get the hot water hit to it, but you don't want to sit on a cold seat. And then like the technology with that is there's a companion app that you can set, okay, I wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning. I want my floors to start heating at 6:30.
Okay.
It also uses geofencing. So when you leave to go to work, it powers down that heated floor because it senses that you have left the house. And then when you re-enter that geofence coming home, it senses that, hey, he's coming back. We need to heat this floor back up.
See, and that's the part of technology that starts to scare me. Because what happens when I piss my house off and it decides, you know what? We're going to scald him. Because those are the things that I worry about. And, my kid Alyssa, she does the same thing. She hates anything robotic or AI involved, and she has that same issue. So, I mean, it's like, how do we keep our technology in our kitchens and our bathrooms and wherever else in the house from turning on us? I mean, I'm sorry, Joe. It's just I live in the post Skynet world, man.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Well, maybe I can help you there, Brandon.
Okay. Well, somebody help me.
Well, I just wonder if your customers are asking you that. It's like, I like this heated floor feature, but I don't want robots to take over my life and kill me.
All right. Well, let's just do a quick dive and kind of go. All right. When these floors came out, you could get heated floors. There was an actual heating element under the floor.
Right.
Not turned out to be the best of ideas, as Mike's got this look on his face of, they did a what? Yeah, so there was a relatively flat heating element under the carpet or under the tiles. And then there was we're going to route hot water in a tray underneath there. And Mike's nodding, going, yeah, there were no problems putting miles of copper tubing under your floor. Yeah, that
very expensive.
Joe has this
when you
look.
drive No, I know. Or they buried it in concrete or whatever. But when it leaks and
whatever we could do with it. So now we're up to a heating element mesh, more or less.
Yeah, with a thermal layer on the bottom to direct that heat up to the tile, the LVP, the engineered hardwood, instead of you have some heat going up and some heat going down into your concrete.
Right. So now it's much more efficient.
Yep.
It is a much safer material. It's an actual mesh designed to do this. But then I'm going to trip right over the word. It comes with a geofence.
Yeah, you better explain
Brandon,
what that is.
You and George have a lot in common all of a sudden.
Oh, your dog.
George doesn't have anything. He's a free roamer. He's got a chip, but he's a free roamer.
Well, it's kind of the.
But
words,
also he's bougie and he thinks he's a cat, so he doesn't go anywhere.
Does geofence sense body like your body heat, and
let's say it ties to your phone.
Yeah,
your phone has a GPS when you're looking up a residence or, you're driving down the street using your GPS, it even knows what direction your car is pointed.
True.
Yeah.
So congratulations, you've tied all of this together, and now it knows whether you're in proximity or not.
I'm going to have to start wrapping my phone in tinfoil before I go into the shower.
So,
Yeah, what happened to an on and off switch? So. All right, well, we're going to continue to explore these topics when we come back here on Geek Tank Radio.
You're listening to Geek Tank Radio on 98.1 The Max. The Geek Patrol is back.
I hate these nerds. Just 'cause I'm stupider than them, they think they're smarter than me.
And welcome back to Geek Tank Radio, everybody. I'm Joe Thorderson here with my friends Brandon Olmsted and Allan Gilbreth and our buddy Max over there behind the glass. And in the house, our special guest, Mike Sarapholian from Tri-State Interiors, who is basically mapping out for us a future in which every part of your house, including your bathroom floor, senses your presence and activates itself autonomously and is taking action by itself. Using geofencing and AI and I don't know.
Sorry.
Mike.
I'm just reminded of the episode of Andor with the hot floor and
yeah,
That's
when
exactly
do we
what
get to
that
the Andor? But what happened to having an on and off switch?
All right, well,
I mean,
I just
these
installed,
are modern conveniences.
All right, well, I
but,
just
yeah.
installed a luxury spa.
Okay.
It's a roll-in spa. And I was thinking I was pretty hot news with some of the new switching and all that, because I got the big rain head and I got the handle and all that. And I can tell by the look in Mike's eye, what did I not install?
Well, that sounds like a cute shower.
Jeez.
One thing that I'm doing right now with Thermosol, they have steam showers, and then they also do saunas. But on the steam shower side, I can make your steam shower also your everyday shower. But within that, they have technology for the steam shower that is, you have a rain can shower head.
Okay.
But it has 4 high-definition speakers, 200 full-color LEDs, puts out 1,600 lumens. So you can have your chromotherapy, you can have your audio therapy. The touchscreen display you can download apps on it. You can do, Hulu, Netflix.
Oh, my gosh.
Pandora, whatever you want.
I have friends that I would never see again.
I'd miss you, though, Allan. I would. And I could totally do the show from this
You're going to need
apparently.
like 4 hot water heaters for the endless hot water, I suppose, right?
Well, they have those,
yeah.
So
Yeah, with the control, you also digitally set your water temperature, and then you can also adjust the flow rate.
And let me guess, there's an app for that.
There is an app for that.
So when do we actually get to Wally World? It's gonna. I mean, when we're
Apparently,
at Wally,
we're there.
When do we just ride around in carts and never do anything soon?
Tuesday.
Yeah. Holy smokes,
I
man.
mean, a steam shower would be good for Brandon with his
Hey,
his
man,
sickness.
if it'll fix this, yeah.
It's all about wellness and creating that spa-like environment in your home.
I'm kind of liking it.
Okay,
Mike,
so
is this
thing
embedded into the tile, or is this just I'm trying to picture where the screen is, where you're watching Netflix and stuff.
It's actually the same kind of technology that your smartphone uses. So it is it's a glass touch screen that is, you can put it in the shower. I mean, I would want to put it in the shower because to adjust the water temperature or
And
watch Lord of the Rings.
This sounds a bit like Paradise, but I'm curious about what's the price for Paradise.
Yeah, I don't know. Does it
is
sound
there-
like Paradise?
No,
Max?
I meant in terms of does the routing of heated floors or additional electrical components into your showers, is that up your bill, or are there more efficient things?
Yeah, that's a good question. Are they energy efficient? Or
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal of everything now because, we don't seem to have enough. I mean, we hear about these AI data centers that are taking all this electricity, and that's the goal of everything now, is to make it more enjoyable, easier access, and then also to reduce our footprint.
Is this something you're going to get, Allan?
So we now have a rave in the shower.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
I'm just wondering.
and then you can go to your smart toilet and and
there's a whole new topic right there, man.
Oh my goodness.
Well, you said, Allan, because I really have always loved that movie, The Island. That Mike, it's hard to believe that movie's like 20 years old now. Where Ewan McGregor would go to the bathroom in the morning, and spoiler, folks, he was a what was he called? He was a clone, I guess, but the toilet would give him a readout like you need to eat more broccoli, you have a high potassium or whatever. It basically was a health check. We have those now, right, Mike?
Yeah, we are there.
Holy smokes. Which now I don't mind this actually, as long as it's not sending that information to my insurance company or something.
Well, no, you know that your health insurance is totally tied into that.
Okay,
they're gonna know every load you drop.
Can you turn it on and off, Mike, or do you have? Is this going to become mandatory for all of us?
I mean, it's not going to become mandatory. I mean, Allan talked about the Japanese toilets. The smart toilets in general are there's a touch screen where it has heated seat, fan to dry you off, bidet features to clean you up.
This is all right.
Front and back wash, by the way.
Okay,
Oh my gosh!
I mean, I was gonna get the shower, but now Joe's got the product he can get from you too.
No, this is too much, man. Yeah,
but here, so for example, Kohler came out back in October with this. It's a scanner that attaches to any standard toilet, and it has optics to assess your stool and your urine.
Somebody's gonna hack this and put it on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't use the word optics in a toilet. I'm out.
Like I'm thinking of like TMZ. Like this is what like Drew Barrymore her readout is.
TMI.
Wow.
This is a weird
so at any point does any of this stuff kind of like weigh on your conscience? It's like, I'm gonna put this in there because you asked for it, but this is my I'm going to warn you about this. You ever have any of those situations? Yeah,
I mean, obviously, I always educate people about what they are thinking or what they want to do. But this toilet analysis is something kind of revolutionary. Like it can detect.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know, man. Let's take a break and regroup.
You're listening to Geek Tank Radio on 98.1 The Max. The Geek Patrol is back.
And Harry Potter and all his wizard friends went straight to hell for practicing witchcraft. Yay!
This technology sounds like witchcraft.
Yeah, no kidding, man. And welcome back to Geek Tank Radio, everybody. I'm Joe Thorderson here with my friends Brandon Olmstead and Allan Gilbreth and our buddy Max over there behind the glass, and our special guest, Mike Sarapholian from Tri-State Interiors, who is laying out a truly weird future. The future is here now. But also swapping microphones, we have our buddy Scott J. Carroll, because he has an important announcement to make at the end of the show. But you're also taking over for Brandon, because Brandon had to go
I'm taking over
spit
for
out
Brandon.
a lung or something. He sounded rough this morning. I don't know why he came in. But
well, the thing is, I also wanted to kick him out of the chair. And, Mike, we're going to get back to that super toilet in just a second, because that is fascinating. But I am mad at you, Joe.
Yeah?
Last week was one of the most important weeks in video game history, and you just completely didn't even talk about it. It was the 40th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda, one of the most seminal games in video game history that has launched all different games and merchandise and stories and everything else. And we're going to talk about that much more in depth at a special thing after the show.
Beyond the Tank. Well, be mad at Brandon. Yeah. I've never picked up I don't video game. The last video game I did was Space Invaders. So I was totally unaware. But Brandon's supposed to be on the front line of that kind of news. So take it up with him, sir.
Okay,
but anyway.
Well, I will. But I actually
that will be a good segment coming up. Yeah.
It'll be great. But I'm still fascinated about the super toilet.
Yes.
Because, Mike, you and I were talking about this off air, and actually when you first came in, we were talking about this as well. The Super Toilet is able to, like you said, create these sort of profiles and assess the things that are coming out of you. And what is the big benefit of that?
Yeah, so these toilets, these scanners that you can fit onto a standard toilet, assess your urine concentration. So it assesses your hydration level, which is very important. As you age, we drink less water. We kind of lose that sense of, hey, I'm thirsty. And then to the backside, literally, it assesses your stool and consents blood in your stool, which would be a sign of potential colorectal cancer.
Or even, depending on the color or concentration, could point to a GI bleed.
Yeah.
Or many different things.
Yep.
And these are really useful tools for lots of different types of situations and people. And would you recommend these for people? Would you recommend these for facilities? Where do you see these mostly being implemented?
Facilities, yes. Anything to help better take care of patients. But also, America is a graying nation. We are, I believe in 2030, all the baby boomers are going to be retired. And people, at least in my family, don't want to go into an assisted living or a nursing home. And so they want to age in place in their home. And these technologies that we've talked about are all things that can help assist them to stay in that home indefinitely or as long as possible.
Which is a fascinating and wonderful thing. It's something that we can get people to do. Now, we've talked a lot about aging in place in the back of the house, but what about the front of the house? Like later on, we're going to be talking about video games, but we all like to watch movies. We all like that entertainment center. What do you foresee being able to help us in those?
So as far as technology, there's a plethora of stuff that can be done, but technology based, we can do. A lot of people have under cabinet lights. Now we can put them on a motion sensor. So when you walk into your kitchen, those lights at the bottom of the cabinets in the toe kick or under the cabinet will come on to light your way, so you're not fumbling to look for a light switch. There's faucets that are touchless or voice activated through Alexa or Google Assistant, that you can say, hey, Delta, pour a cup of water, and it will dispense exactly a cup of water. Or they have like a hand wash mode.
Right.
Wash my hands. The faucet kicks on, you rinse your hands, it cuts off, you lather them up, it comes back on, so you never have to touch your faucet.
Now, I know that one of the big things that I think people become reticent about is, I don't want all this extra technology. Like, I don't want the Alexa Pod listening to me while I'm doing this. I don't want all of this. But is this technology, especially with those light sensors where you're talking about those really great under cabinet at night light sensors, how much of that is just completely contained in itself, and how much is, I have to have a phone and an app and let it listen to me?
Oh, like the lights are self-contained. That is, your infrared or ultrasonic, sensor. The voice activated faucets, obviously that is Alexa, but they do have touchless faucets that is just a sensor that looks for a wave of your hand.
So you've got options if you're into the technology or really not, basically, right?
Yes.
That's fascinating, and there are so many different aspects of that, and I'm sure that can also be tied into solar if somebody's trying to save money, especially if you're going to be heating your bathroom or in that amazing bathroom spa, which I have foreseen myself in for the last 20 minutes since you mentioned that. So thanks a lot for that.
Yeah, I mean it's all about creating a spa-like environment, and there's a renewed emphasis on health and wellness in the home,
which is something that I think we've been lacking for a little bit, and that's an amazing thing. And I'm so glad that someone like you is here to kind of spearhead this and bring it to more people and bring more attention to it.
Yeah.
Because all of us in our homes have things that we really wish could be better or could make our lives a little better. Because I know, and again, we're going to be talking about gaming in a special section, but there's a lot of things I would love to be able to just sit down and go, I want this game right now.
Yeah, but all right, you do not need to be playing Minecraft in the shower.
You know what I mean? Man.
I'm just saying.
Look, I want to build the shower I'm in while I'm in the shower I'm in the game. Let me have that.
I do not want to hear a shower start up and start hearing somebody yell chicken jockeys. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Look, whatever you do on the weekends is your business, okay?
All right. This has been a weird show, but it's time to go, you guys. The show's over. So until next week, we are the Geek Patrol, and I am Joe Thorderson.
I am Scott J. Carroll and Brandon Olmsted.
I'm Mike Sarapholian.
I'm Maximilian.
I'm Allan Gilbreth.
And I'm the real Brandon Olmsted, reminding you to join us online for GTR Beyond the Tank, 40 Years of the Legend of Zelda.
Geek Tank Radio on 98.1 The Max.
Welcome to GTR Beyond the Tank. We are celebrating the 40th anniversary of Legend of Zelda, and I am here with Scott J. Carroll, who you know very well from our various shows, and Alexis Carroll.
Yes, I'm here.
I think this is a first.
You are actually hearing her voice.
I'm actually real.
We always knew you were, but there was always that thing is like, all right, maybe Scott's both people.
I mean, he could try.
Okay,
he's very good at voice acting.
I am moderately okay at voice acting. That's true. Yeah. When we were first dating, there were a lot of people in my family that didn't believe she was real,
right?
Until they actually saw her face to face.
Well, when you meet someone in Disney World and you're like, yeah, I met a girlfriend at Disney World, and it's like, how do you explain to people that?
Well, you can't meet her because she's Canadian.
It was that.
Canadian girlfriend.
My girlfriend's in Canada.
But the reason we've got Alexis in here today is, again, we are talking about the 40th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda, and between the three of us, you may be the more hardcore fan.
I mean, we'll see.
You know more than I do.
I mean, I might. I can't speak to that very honestly. I'm very low key, but
okay, I'm gonna straight up tell you, it's like I've played the games, but when it comes to the knowledge, I'm about as dumb as an Octorok. I mean, really, it's like I remember things as people talk about them, and I will go ahead and tell you that even though I own Tears of the Kingdom, I have never actually started playing Tears of the Kingdom. But that is because I'm kind of a Mario Party junkie these days.
That's
and
fair.
It's the thing I throw down with anytime I put anything in.
Well, I mean, it's like I said before. You have your Mario people and you have your Zelda people, so...
Yeah,
that's true. The great thing about Tears of the Kingdom, but really more specifically Breath of the Wild for me, is if you want to lose 6 hours, you turn that game on and you just walk around.
Oh, yeah.
You ignore every quest. You ignore everything. You just explore the world. And all of a sudden, it's 6 hours later.
It's seriously exactly like that. I don't know if I've ever accomplished less in that amount of time because it's world travel in and of itself.
It's quite literally open world and exploration. I mean, you just find a horse and walk around.
There you go.
I mean, Zelda can wait, right?
Hey, come on. She's been waiting for centuries.
Yeah.
Only 100 years.
You mentioned the horse. One of the things that Alexis and I do is we'll play video games together.
Right.
We'll be on the couch, and one of us will be controlling, and one of us will be kind of helping out or going, "Ooh, look at that thing over there." One night, we just want to zone out, and we're just playing Breath of the Wild, just wandering around, and sneaking through a field, and there's this big white horse in the field.
Oh.
And Alexis goes, "Oh, look at the big white horse." I go, I don't have that one.
Well, then get it.
So I'm like, all right. So I go and I get this big, massive, all white horse.
Right.
Takes like all the stamina, everything I have. And then I go to the nearest stable to go check it in. So I go to the stable, check the horse in, leave. The next NPC I talk to goes, "Did you hear the myth of the great white horse?"
And there we both are just going, wait.
What?
So I go right back, pull the horse back out, ride it up to him, and he's like, "The horse! No one's ever captured the horse before!"
It's like, you mean this horse?
This one here?
Awesome. I don't have that. It's like when me and Amy play games together. When it's a one-player game, she more heckles.
That's fair.
But
I do that too.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
But the great thing about Zelda, and while the new ones are phenomenal, we do have to talk about where it came from and how we got to where we are.
Absolutely. I'm going to be horrible here because I was 11, I believe, the first time I played Legend of Zelda. And I wasn't any good at it. But at the same time, later on in life, The Adventures of Link, I was amazing, but then it was a totally different feel. And I think that's one of those things that happened with early Nintendo games is because your part 2 was usually a different game remapped so that American audiences would buy it. I don't know if that was the situation with Zelda 2 or not. I remember it being with Mario 2. It was Doki Doki Panic, and it was we're going to throw Mario on it so you guys will buy it. But tell me, Scott, you're a contemporary, so you played Zelda when it hit.
Yes.
Yeah.
My brother and I played it.
Right.
My brother played it a whole lot more than I did. At that point, I was the one on the side going, ooh, check that out. Ooh, check that out. Yeah. But I do remember specifically the Nintendo Power magazine that came out before Zelda dropped. Right. And it had the first 3 dungeons mapped out, and it had a couple of different secrets. And it let you know that when you're going to play this game, it is not going to be like the other games you're playing. Yeah. Zelda is considered by a lot of people to be the first non-linear open world video game.
Right.
And it starts off, you get your title screen, you get, here's the story, screen cuts to black, the curtain opens, and go. There's no direction, there's no nothing.
But it's dangerous out there.
Yes, I was going to say what's unique to Zelda about the whole open world nonlinear aspect is that it's one of the first games, if not the first, to actually reward that exploration.
Yes.
Because before that, you had like your flight simulators, and they had your free flight mode where you could just roam around and do stuff. But what did that get you other than just roaming around?
Right.
Maybe you got a little extra shoot bang for your plane.
Yeah.
But with Zelda, the first game, you spent hours just trying to figure out where to go, what to do. And now, here's a dungeon. Okay, let me just go over here. Oh, that thing killed me. Now I have a triangle. Why do I have a triangle? I got to get more triangles?
I need more?
And the secrets that you would find and the different enemies you would come across. Every challenge was laid out in this incredible bit of escalation. So that by the time you got to the end of the game, you went, okay, I got this. And everything about it was just fun and fascinating. And then the other thing you have to talk about is as soon as that black curtain opens and you get the game, the music hits.
Yes.
Yes.
And that music is now one of the most iconic video game scores ever.
I mean, it literally is showcased in its own touring orchestral, presentation. It was here at the Orpheum. I want to say the first time I was here in the Orpheum in Memphis was about 15 years ago, and it has come back twice since then. And of course, there was one where it was multiple, games within it, but it always goes back to Zelda being the main focus.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is about the music, and this is one of my favorite facts, that was not supposed to be the music of the game.
Oh, really?
Or at least the title theme, yeah.
So the original when they were developing the game, Koji Kondo, who did the music, he had this piece of classical music that he absolutely loved, and it's called Bolero by Ravel.
Right.
And if you have a chance, look up the song. It's this amazing. It starts off with the same driving snare drum beat. And then it goes into this big, grand waltz that Bolero turns into. Well, the copyright for Bolero had like 3 years left before they were able to use it for free.
Right.
And they didn't want to pay the rights for it for the game. So Koji Kondo overnight was like, fine, I'll make my own Bolero. And he did. And that's how he created the overworld, the main adventure theme for Zelda.
That's awesome.
It's amazing what you can get under pressure. One of those iconic pieces of music in the world right now.
I can put together 42 hours worth of programming for a weekend and in a weekend. So I know about the pressure.
Yeah.
And that came out, and it was just, you hear that music and you see that, okay, I'm just walking around in this world, and you just get this sense of adventure immediately before your first monster, before you even go into the cave and see the old man.
Well, if we're going to talk about, the whole exploration thing, we have to talk about where this inspiration came from Mr. Miyamoto himself.
Right.
Is actually all part of his childhood explorations. Like, he would talk about how he would go around the countryside and just explore and hike. And there was an interview, and forgive me, I can't remember which one, but he mentions on one of these explorations he found a cave, middle of the woods, and he just took a lantern and gathered his courage and went in. Mm-hmm. And that's really where Legend of Zelda started.
Okay.
There is a great sense of childhood wonder throughout the game. Because it is your absolute classic, I'm going on a magical medieval adventure. I start off, I've got my little sword, there's monsters over here, and then I get the magic ring, and then I get the magic book, and then I get the bracelet, and then I get the triangles, and then I get to go defeat the big evil and save the princess and save the world.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all wish we could have done that, but strangely enough, when I went and did exploring, all I found in a wooded cave-like area was empty beer bottles and adult magazines.
So you say that. There actually is sort of a tie-in to that.
Okay.
Because people of a certain age will know that there was a kind of neighborhood secret where, hey, if you go into the woods, there's a stump over here near this fallen tree. And if you take the cover off the stump, there's going to be some stuff in there.
Right.
And growing up, I had that. And I'm sure you had that. I know you probably not so much, Alexis.
I wasn't really shared. They didn't share where the secret porn stash was with me. So I'm sorry. I can't have that. I can't relate to that.
That was just feral lifestyle back then.
It was. You had to go on a hunt to find the treasure. And what was interesting about Zelda when it came out was people were talking about things in the game the same way they were talking about finding that thing in the woods.
Right.
Like going through the Lost Woods. Everyone would get into the Lost Woods and they'd get stuck. And they would go, I just can't get out of here. I just can't do it. And then eventually you had that friend that went, hey, dude, if you just go northwest, southwest, you can find the trunk or you can get out of there.
And you look nowadays and when, there's a new game out, I mean, within a weekend of that game being released, someone has put out a full-on walkthrough that lays out everything. Back when we were kids with our NES or whatever PC games you were playing, if you didn't know something, you had to wait until somebody you knew who had a cousin across the country who has managed to find the thing can tell you. And of course, we had Nintendo Power, we had Game Informers, EGM, Electronic Gaming Monthly. These magazines would eventually be there to help us out.
Yeah.
But not when you first started.
No.
And a friend of mine who I had invited to be over here, but he wasn't going to be able to make it. In his house right now, where he lives, he has his original hand-drawn maps from Legend of Zelda.
That's amazing.
And he has basically enshrined everything Nintendo related. I mean, he's got every system. He had his Switch 2 like 3 days before other people. I don't know how. I don't know how, but he was, he was like, man, Walmart left this on my front step. It's got this, and it's got 2 monsters. I don't drink energy drinks. Do you want them? That's how it was. And it's like, and snacks, energy drinks, and a Switch 2 with Mario Kart, world.
Just happens to be on his doorstep.
Well, I mean, he ordered it, but it's like, but it showed up early.
Look, if they goofed, they goofed. That's
Yeah,
on them.
exactly.
That's all on Walmart. But we have those moments where it's like, I mean, and where Zelda wasn't necessarily my game. I was a Castlevania kid. I toiled away at that brick wall, not knowing where to go in Castlevania 2 for 3 months before I finally accidentally activated the tornado that took me across the mountain. But I know that people, it's like, whether it be Legend of Zelda, I mean, Mario Warp Zones, things like that. It was like you were asking your friends, it's like, hey, have you gotten to this part yet? Nowadays, everybody's seen most of what's going on in a game because of somebody doing a walkthrough on YouTube.
You can literally look it up within like a few hours.
Right.
Yeah. Like, for example, this same weekend, the newest Resident Evil came out.
Right.
And I have been trying to avoid spoilers for it, but for the last week, everything I come across, there's like spoilers for the game, and I'm like, I don't want that.
And what's bad is it's not even like, hey, Raccoon City, underground, blah blah blah. It is right there in the midst. It's like, holy crap, Leon did this or does this, and it's like, I don't want to know these things.
Or it's right there in the thumbnail, like on a YouTube channel, or right there in the title, and you're just like, I didn't need to see this now.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, and it's video games, movies, television shows. It's like you can't live without the internet these days, but the internet is making sure that everything you enjoy gets ruined.
What I think separates Zelda from the rest of that is, at its core, every Zelda game is the same story. So we know Link is going to be here, Zelda's going to be here, Ganon's going to be here, and throughout the course of the game, Link is going to go on adventures, and Ganon's going to get defeated.
Right.
Yeah.
That is...
if you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we do have to talk about the one game that kind of broke the mold a little bit.
Oh,
and that
we
was
can
the
talk about
and
that.
that was the recent Echoes of Wisdom.
Ah, yes. Well, why don't we do kind of a timeline of the games?
Sure.
To sort of get to from where we started to where we are now.
Okay.
Because, all right, so Zelda 2 is probably one of the most disliked Zelda games.
Right.
Very much the black sheep of the family.
Because it started to take more inspiration from different JRPGs, because I think Dragon Quest or Dragon Quest 2 may have come out by that point. And it was not fun.
No.
It wasn't as fun to play.
It was a toil.
Yes.
It was a slog, and the second you're off the road and you're in the grass and those little shadows come out, you're running to try to get back onto the grass because you just don't want to deal with them. But there were still some good things that came out of that game. I think it was far, far too inspired by the JRPGs, especially Final Fantasies with all the different magic trees, but it didn't kill the franchise.
Right.
And they started to make more of them. Now, I do know that Link to the Past, I had to actively stop playing because I was so addicted to the game that I was just, I would get home from school, I would start to play it, and I wouldn't do any homework. I would start to skip dinner. I was just trying to beat the game. Because I made the mistake of naming my character me.
So did you?
Eventually, yes. Oh, but I completely forgot about like the milestones of the first game created. Let's backtrack. Can we backtrack?
Okay. Yeah,
All right.
let's backtrack. Come
Dude, we got free reign.
All right.
All right, so
Legend of Zelda did two things that no other game had done at that point.
Okay.
Firstly, at the very, very beginning, before the game even started, you could name your character. Secondly, it had a save function. No Nintendo game before this had a built-in save function. So you could stop playing the game and come back to it later and pick up where you left off.
Right.
At this point, if you were at World 7-3 in Mario and you were almost there and it was dinner time and Mom said turn that game off, you were done. You had to start back at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
How many times Did you pause your game? Or put him somewhere you knew he wasn't going to get hit and turn the TV off while you went to dinner?
I'm not going to admit that.
I can totally admit that. My parents aren't going to listen to this.
It's like, coming.
Yeah, I'll be right there, Ma. But, and everything about the first game was just this wonderful sense of adventure. Then Zelda 2, and then we're kind of like,
Well, it at least introduced the magic system.
It did.
And then, wasn't it also the one that had, could you find extra lives in the first game, or was that the second game that introduced that?
Because I know in the second game you found the little dolls.
The little dolls.
You basically just had your hearts and continues.
Yeah.
In the first one, with the fairies.
Yeah.
And as the games progressed, the stories got, even though it's the same story, they got more and more interesting. They got more and more fun. And
a few new injections here and there.
Yeah. One of my favorite games of the series, which you actually made me play because I had skipped over it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't really care about that. But then you were like, oh, it was inspired by Twin Peaks. And I went, I'm sorry, what?
He stood up at that point.
Because Twin Peaks is an amazing show. And David Lynch was a fantastic auteur creator. And like, how is a Zelda game inspired by Twin Peaks?
Because in Japan, Twin Peaks was insanely popular.
Oh, huge over there. So then we played Link's Awakening.
Yeah.
And it's the only game in the series that doesn't have Zelda.
Technically, yes, but if you were to listen to the lore part, Marin is the one who plays that part, but she is said to have Zelda's face.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you first wake up, you mistake her for Zelda because you see her face.
Because, I mean, spoiler for a 30-year-old game. It's a dream.
Here comes the heartbreak.
It's a dream, but by the time you get to the end of that game, you get into this existential crisis moment, right?
Right.
Because you have been all over this world. You're following the owl who's kind of guiding you and telling you, hey, the dreamfish, the windfish is asleep, and the windfish has to wake up. But by the way, when he wakes up, we're all going to die.
You don't learn that till you go into the, was it the face cavern?
Right.
And you spent this whole game building these relationships.
The face shrine.
You have that wonderful moment with Marin where she's like, in another life, I wish I could be a bird so I could go and fly away. Then you get there to the end, and you're like, I don't want to do this.
I almost kind of wish you had a choice just to see what would happen, like two endings.
Because the game does something that makes you feel so bad about winning. Because after you beat Ganon, the various different incarnations of Ganon that pop up, and the windfish wakes up, you see every single person you've interacted with on the island fading into oblivion.
It's like, thanks, game.
And then the music swells. The credit music comes up, and it's this wonderful, beautiful open score.
It's like, you did a wonderful thing, and you're sitting there going, no, I did not.
I just killed them.
I knew these people. What are you doing?
And I think the reason it hit me so hard was there was a number of years ago now, I had gotten this really high fever. I'd gotten sick. And I had this fever dream that, for me, was real. It was so vivid, so real, that when I think about it, I'm accessing memories in my brain that live with other actual memories and things that happened.
Right.
And when I woke up from that dream and I realized that the people in it didn't exist, I actually went through like the whole grieving process. I went through all the steps of it for someone that didn't exist. But man, that was a really great friend. And I genuinely loved that person. And then I played...
They were talking crap behind your back.
Here comes your wife. Here's this game I want you to play.
And then I'm like, this game is fun.
So, Alexis.
Yes.
How do you feel that knowing that you have, caused even more trauma to your husband?
I mean, isn't that what I'm supposed to do?
Well, I mean, I think that's part of it, yes.
Like, I did sign a contract.
That's not what the contract meant.
No.
In sickness and in health, right?
For every trauma she causes, it makes you forget one of the other ones. That's what we're going to pretend actually happened.
Okay, as somebody diagnosed with anxiety and PTSD,
we know that's not.
You're wrong.
well, Scott, you've got anxiety? Who would have thunk?
As a performer?
Whoa!
No, you're lying.
You are the reason why the spotlights are in your eyes, so you don't see the audience.
Actually, that is legitimately. Anytime my family came to see a performance that I was in, if it was a stage play, I always asked them to sit at least 7 rows back if they were going to book tickets.
Right.
Because when the lights are in your face, I could see about 5 rows deep. So if I'm in front of strangers, I'm great. I'll perform. I will do whatever. I have no shame. I'll get into character. It's great. The second someone I know is there and I see them, especially family, I can't do it. I just physically can't do it.
It's like, I know those people. They know what I'm like. I can't do this.
I get it. But, getting back to Zelda.
Yes.
After Awakening, you had...
I want to say the Oracle games.
Oracle of Ages. And
Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons.
Right.
Now that can...
Oh.
Whoops. No, you don't get the talk phone.
Who's our special guest over there?
What's really messed up is my phone's volume is down and on silent.
And she's still talking.
Siri is well, everybody has a taskmaster.
Yeah.
Siri likes to cuss me out when I don't do things.
Anyway, we're back to they're just collectively called the Oracle games. But
right.
Yeah,
I forget technically if they were timeline-wise considered before or after Link's Awakening. I guess depends who you talk to.
Well, there's 3 timelines.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later.
I mean, if we're gonna go release, we've got Ocarina and Majora before that. But I believe that you're right. I believe that they take place before Ocarina. Chronologically, but yeah.
Because I think in either one of them, you see Link actually sail back to Hyrule or something like that, and that's what they're saying is when Link's Awakening takes place.
Yeah.
Well, Ocarina and Majora's Mask were the first 2 Zelda games that were technically sequels. Actually,
no.
No, all right, no, correct me, please.
Zelda 1 and Zelda 2.
Well,
no. In Zelda 2, it is directly said that it is the same Link, and he is at least 5-6 years older.
That's why that one woman welcomes you into her cottage.
the healing women.
Yeah.
Oh man, I didn't. Oh man.
No, so technically Zelda 2 is a direct sequel to Zelda 1.
I will. I always thought it was a slightly different timeline, slightly different version.
I think that's because you have a second Zelda in there.
Yeah, and that's why.
And I think that's what throws a lot of people off. It's like, no, it's the same Zelda. It's like technically it's 2 different Zeldas. So you don't even the first Zelda you rescue from Zelda 1 is not present in Zelda 2.
Okay.
So it's a different.
It is technically a different
Zelda.
And in the lore of that game, it is said that that's the Zelda that, in the so-called ancient past. They say ancient past, but she was put to sleep by a demon that her brother was like. See, I'm messing up my own. I'm messing up my own thoughts.
I'm already I'm. You're know more about that because I had known that Ocarina and Majora's Mask were happened right after each other.
Yes.
And Majora's Mask was just.
I mean.
That you want to talk about existential crises?
Yeah.
I mean, when your game starts off giving you a timer for the destruction of reality.
Yeah, you got to figure out what to do in 3 days, and you're like, oh, this ain't happening.
But that was also.
Can you imagine if you actually had to play it in real time?
No. I don't know if I could do that.
That would be significantly harder.
I'm not sure I could still be in Majora's Mask with Animal Crossing.
I think I've got an idea for a new escape room.
Oh.
Yeah. This is why I'm not allowed to have ideas when I have to sleep.
Oh, no, you can have ideas.
His escape rooms would be based on Majora's Mask. I'm not sure I could
once I say them, then they're in Scott's head.
And he's just going to start thinking about it. Be like, wait, you could do this and you could do this.
You know how much other stuff is in my head?
A lot.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's why you're here.
And apparently, fever dreams bring it all together.
Yeah.
Oh, that. Ooh.
Okay. So, I never played the Oracle games.
Me neither.
I also didn't.
They were, what was it, Game Boy Advance games or Game Boy games? I forget.
There was I think there was Game Boy, there was GBA, there was also DS, and a lot of those I just never had access to.
Yeah.
Was never able to play them. I think the only one I was able to play on DS was, I can't even think of the name of it right now.
Because if you're thinking of the DS games, I want to say, was it either a DS or a 3DS game would have been Link Between Worlds?
Yes.
Or was it,
It was the one where he could, like, fold flat against the wall.
that was Link Between Worlds.
Yeah, I got to play a bit of that one, and then my friend stole my DS, and I never got it back. So,
Jerk.
you know, there was that.
Yeah, that complete jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know, like, the next big game for everybody would have been Twilight Princess.
Yeah, that would have been kind of technically.
Well, mine was Wind Waker.
Wind Waker
that's right,
came out
Wind
before
Waker.
Twilight Princess. Yeah, you're right.
And Wind Waker has, again, whenever I think of Zelda, I'm always talking about music.
Yeah.
And Wind Waker has the absolute best riding around the world just looking for stuff music.
Oh, the Great Sea theme is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And there have been some absolutely amazing remixes and reorchestrations of the Great Sea theme. I know Rosin is an artist that you love that does
Love him.
an amazing one. I need to find the name of it. There was an orchestra that did one that. Okay, so I'm a bit of a weird guy.
No.
Right? No. I grew up in the theater, and I also did musical theater and band. And I have always been an advocate of the standing bells.
Okay.
The standing bells, you know them because you hear them in Christmas songs. They're always just that nice hollow dong sound that you get. But whenever something can use a standing bell outside of a Christmas song, I get really excited. Because they're always relegated to Christmas songs.
He will literally stop and look and be like, I just heard standing bells. I've seen this in real life.
You know, I don't doubt that at all.
Because I never get to hear standing bells out of it. But there was an amazing Great Sea mix by an orchestra, and I'm just stalling for time so I can try to find it.
As he peruses his phone, it's like, I know it's here.
Well, so one of the reasons I love it is because they do something that Zelda music does so phenomenally well. Where it is an escalation of introduction of instruments. And this one starts off with you get some seagulls, then you get a little bit of this, then you get a little bit of that, and then when the standing bells kick in, you're there. You're there for it with the rest of the song. And it's just this amazing loop of I'm listening to this and I'm listening to this, and I can just do absolutely anything while I'm listening to it.
Any luck finding it?
I'm still looking. Stall for time.
Hey, look. We don't have to necessarily say it now. We can move on with the discussion. But we'll editorial behind the scenes note for Beyond the Tank, Allan, cut this, but put the link to the thing that Scott finds in the description. Okay.
Okay, I was gonna say another. Wind Waker has some really great music. Of course, Great Sea is probably top tier.
Right.
But I really love the music for Outside Island.
Ooh.
I mean, I can hear it in my head right now. It is just great walking around music.
Right.
Really sunny and cheery and just, nothing bad will ever happen.
And then it does.
Yes.
Oh,
And I mean, if you're going to talk about Zelda just overall, you got to talk about its music.
I mean, it has such wonderful orchestral themes throughout all of the games. I don't think there is a bad score to a Zelda game.
I wouldn't
And,
say there's
you
a
know,
bad score at all.
I mean, you can go, well, man, this would sound better if it wasn't a Game Boy MIDI, but you know.
I mean, there are some people who can do some miracles with like that 8-bit MIDI.
Oh, they really do. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But those people are way more talented with computers than I am.
I'm going to point to, for me, the one that probably had some of the worst music, and simply just because it was, I think, just a different team, was Zelda 2.
Well, yeah, and I think that, again, that seems to be a theme that went across initial NES sequels. You know, it was every one of them tried something different, whether it be a remap or just a full-on thing, you know. And, I mean, whether it be a third-party game like Contra 2 and Contra 3, which they all sucked. I'm going to get beat by my Gen X brethren on that one. Or Simon's Quest, which was nothing like the original Castlevania, Doki Doki Panic, Mario 2. But The Adventures of Link doesn't feel like it belongs there.
It doesn't. It feels like it was, I think you and I were talking about this. We were watching somebody had made a complete redo of the game.
Yeah.
And they had added some really interesting elements into it.
Yeah.
But even the music of it, it definitely felt like this started off as a different game, and then Zelda got really popular, and they said, now make it a Zelda game.
I genuinely agree with that.
And I don't remember exactly, but I think that is what happened. It started off as a different game, but then got the Zelda skin.
Yep.
But I'd have to look into that a little more. But I am going to have to argue the fact that I don't think it has the worst music, because if I were to play you Palace theme and Town theme, I think you would disagree.
So Town theme is you're out of the world, you're relaxing. I like Town theme. I think Town theme is fine. I think Palace theme gets on your nerves because it's not a long enough loop, and you're in the palace for a long time.
Well, yeah, that's gameplay wise, and of course, if we get to people remaking, remixing, or doing their own renditions of songs, I have a lot of people that I listen to, Roslyn being one of them, and also some others where they've made their own renditions of Palace theme, and of course, anybody here who has played Super Smash Brothers, especially, I think it's Melee. Yeah, there is one level of a Zelda level, which it's a huge level. It's literally, I think it's the Temple of Time. I forget, to be completely honest. But
I remember the map for Temple of Time. It is
because that is the Palace theme from Zelda 2 playing over that level.
Now, for music, it's also interesting to point out the complete opposite end of the spectrum with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
It feels like a genuine, natural background.
Yeah, there is almost no music in those games. If there is, it's ethereal. It's just setting up where you are. And the only time it really kicks in is when it needs to, when action is about to happen.
Basically, when you're fixing to get hit by a blast from one of the ancient weapons.
Oh, you mean Evil Piano?
Yes.
Oh, the Guardians, the Guardian theme. It's like, I've been spotted.
I'm always like, hey, who should play the piano for the evil thing? Somebody who's never played piano before.
No, I think it takes more. I think it takes more talent to not play the piano well.
You know, in
this case,
you're right.
Because I'm sorry,
right.
There's a reason they put that thing on their new alarm clock that they put out recently.
Oh my God! Oh, I don't.
Can you imagine
need to know that.
Waking up to the Guardian theme, going, "I'm awake!
Don't shoot me! Don't shoot me!
Please don't shoot me!"
But
I just want to put this out there, Alexis. I didn't know you could get that loud.
Sorry.
I did. Anyway,
family-friendly show, Scott.
Breath of the Wild does this amazing thing where you finally get to Hyrule Castle, and when you're outside, everything is wrong. You know the theme, but it's discordant. Yeah. It's just not right, and it's only kind of half there. You're getting the background bits of it. But once you get inside the castle, you now have the full score. And that music makes you feel just like a big hero and like you are about to go punch God.
Well, technically. Isn't it done in more like a minor key?
Yeah, they change it to minor key. But the way they are able to do it is as the music is going through, even though it's still in minor key, they're still altering some of it. So when you get your flares and your flourishes, it still feels right.
Yeah.
It feels good.
Because I've heard some people do other renditions where they switch it to the major key. And of course, it sounds a lot more
epic,
happy and epic, and just everything is good and right in the world.
Yeah, and it's minor key for a very particular reason, because everything is still wrong. You know what this is supposed to be. You know this is supposed to be the great happy castle, but it's wrong.
Yeah.
And you need to make it right.
Yes.
And I will also add in Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom does have two of my favorite modern Zelda tracks.
Okay.
The first one is when you're with Tulin and you are going up to fight the thing in the sky.
Oh, well, we kept calling Colgate, but it's actually Colgera.
Yeah. We kept calling it Colgate, but Colgera. The boss theme for Colgera is so good because it does not sound like any other music you've heard in the rest of the game.
Not at all.
It's this big, sweeping, wonderful piece that is full of action and drama, and you get the instruments that make it feel like it's windy, feel like it's cold.
Yeah.
And then every time you get a hit, you get this nice flourish. And they take the town theme for
the Rito
Village, and they change the key and they add to it. And it doesn't sound like anything else in the game. And it's phenomenal. It's this great, big, wonderful, boisterous piece. And then the other one that I just love is, going back to Breath of the Wild, is Hudson's Village.
Oh, Tarrytown.
Yeah, Tarrytown. It's this just sweet little village, and it's just this sweet theme.
Yeah.
And you've got all these people from different walks of life all across Hyrule that didn't fit in where they were, and then they go to this little town, and they're all happy there, and they're all working together, and the music is just sweet.
But your name has to end in S-O-N.
Well, yeah,
that's the only way you can live there.
Well,
so none of us could.
Nope, sorry. I can visit, I just can't stay.
That's true.
I mean, hey, sometimes that's better.
Yeah, it's very small.
Okay, I want to kind of shift gears here and kind of pull back away from the games themselves and the music that goes along with them, and kind of focus on a project coming forth. We've seen the main cast. We know it's coming.
Yes.
What do you, as genuine Zelda fans and aficionados, what do you want to see in the movie?
I am personally cautiously optimistic because they've got some relative unknowns for your leads, which, is always, to me, a good sign. The director, now, I've not seen his stuff, Wes Ball, but from what I know of him, he actually is a Zelda fan. I think he's put a tweet out once before where he's like, I would love to direct a Zelda movie. That's like my big dream. And somehow they were like, yeah, no, we want you.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So I think what I really want from this is maybe not to take itself too seriously. I don't want Lord of the Rings with a Zelda skin.
Right.
I think that it needs to run a delicate balance. Zelda is about fun and adventure and saving the world.
Yes.
Yes, there is a big threat. There is going to be a big looming threat. Matt Mercer might even be voicing that threat again. But there will be a big looming threat. For me, the point of those games was always discovering the world, discovering the people, and the exploration. I would love for them to take enough time to let us get a sense of what the different people in the world are. And I would like there to be a really good fight.
Ooh, yeah.
But the fight will have to be... Now, this is just going to be my guess. I know nothing about the plot. I've read absolutely zero about it. But
we don't even know the plot yet. We just know who's in the cast.
From what I've seen from the teasers and trailers, this looks like one of the earliest... It looks like it's taking a lot more cues from Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Where she doesn't really know Link, doesn't really like Link, but he has to go out with her on stuff.
Yeah,
right?
It is being filmed in New Zealand after all, too.
Yeah. And I have a feeling it's going to be, hey, stuff's going to happen. She's probably going to be fairly capable. She might get kidnapped, maybe. She's probably going to have to get kidnapped.
And maybe.
Link is going to have to fight different things, befriend different people, eventually work up to going after Ganon, maybe with a small army, who the army will distract his minions while Link goes in to defeat Ganon.
Yeah, I also don't want a girl boss Zelda, personally.
Right.
Because she has her own assets that she can bring to the thing. She's supposed to be the embodiment of wisdom. And so you don't have to be all like, I'm going to fight instead, and
we didn't even talk about the Triforce.
We're getting there. But back to like, and of course one of the big conversations around this movie is Link going to talk?
I don't want him to, but he probably will.
I want him to talk because I want to see the chaos that ensues from him talking.
Here's what I want. Now in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, we got journal entries.
Yes.
We got some insight from Link.
Mm-hmm.
And there is one game where it's theorized that Link talks.
And which one is that?
Twilight Princess.
Oh, really?
It's theorized that the old warrior that you're learning the techniques from is Link in a previous life.
The hero's shade.
Yes.
Yes.
So that is there. And again, it's in the games. It's the mumbles like.
Well, yeah.
But
it's
I personally would like to see him have some lines, but very few lines. Because everything we know about him, especially in the modern games, is he internalizes everything because he doesn't want to put his burdens on other people.
Yes.
He's supposed to be strong about it. I would like to see some lines, because even in the other game, in Breath of the Wild, like when he's relaying information to people, his animation does the motions of talking, but we don't hear anything.
We don't hear anything. But then, you see the dialogue options you get for him. They're very tongue-in-cheek.
Mm-hmm.
They're very, very sassy sometimes.
So I think him talking would be fine if it's done correctly and if he doesn't have a monologue.
Yeah.
If he gets sentences that are 4 to 5 words sporadically throughout the thing, that would be perfect.
All I can say is if we don't get an "excuse me, princess," then we've been let down. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh my God, yes. Captain N and that card. No. Excuse me, princess.
That would have been from the Super Mario Brothers Super Show first.
Oh, yeah. And oh man, that was just, again, that's like the CDI.
Don't talk to me about the CDI games.
Welcome to Geek Tank Radio, where we will send you to couples therapy.
Yeah. Oh, those were just a trip, and the animations are somebody. I can't remember the name of the game, and I really wish I could right now. But somebody made a with love, tongue-in-cheek Zelda CDI inspired game about 3 or 4 years ago. And it was great. It was a perfectly fine game. But it was great to see somebody take that animation and what you think is this over-the-top absurd movement just actually matching almost 1-to-1 where the original game was.
I mean, there are some people who do genuinely love those games, and good for them. But like, I honestly can't look at those games, to be completely honest. I'm sorry.
They're hard.
Hey, when something's been around for 4 decades, there's going to be some stinkers.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. But I think you had mentioned earlier the concerts.
Yeah.
I love watching those whenever I can find them on YouTube or wherever, because they bring to life songs from all different Zelda games in ways that we haven't heard them before. Yeah. And one of my absolute favorites from was the 20th anniversary concert? I believe it was a 20th or the 25th anniversary concert. They did the horse race song.
Yes, from Ocarina of Time, when you're racing around Lon Lon Ranch.
And what's this little 16-bit womp 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 song suddenly has this full orchestration. And again, it does my favorite thing of, here's the intro with all the instruments, and now for every phrase, we're going to add another instrument in and build it back up and build it back up to the point where even the conductor turns around and has the audience clapping along with the song.
I forgot about that part.
It's absolutely amazing, and I love it because after that, it goes into the medley of Cass's theme, and all the songs that Cass plays throughout the game are just great.
Now, you were telling me before that his theme is actually a waltz.
Yes. The themes that Cass plays are a waltz. A lot of Zelda music is, because even though when we open we have that driving beat, it's taken from Bolero, and Bolero is a waltz.
Okay.
I have to absolutely double check because I don't want to be wrong on the radio. But
no, dude. This is online. You're good.
Oh, sweet. I can be as wrong as I want.
Everybody's wrong here.
You can be wrong on the internet. It's fine.
Because with Cass's theme, you get these waltzes, and they're floaty, and they just kind of bring you to a place where you can let your mind wander and listen to the stories and get into these things. And they're peaceful and they're emotional at the same time.
Yeah. I forgot where it was going.
I don't know.
I just kind of zoned for like a second, like, oh yeah, just
because we're playing the music in our head.
Exactly. We're just kind of we need to be speaking about this. We can't exactly.
Oh, pshaw.
Well, I mean, honestly, have you listened to a modern day podcast? You can totally lose track.
Of course.
As long as we, yammer a little bit so it doesn't, completely go silent.
Yeah.
Because then people think, oh, it's over and turn it off.
Right. Well, you had mentioned the Triforce earlier, which of course we have.
Yep.
It's basically essential to the Zelda series. So, do you know where the influence for it came from?
I do, but I think you would like to talk about that more.
That's a nice little bit of trivia that I found out about this, and I knew in the back of my brain, but I had to look this up just to be sure. But it is actually a very, very common symbol in Japan. You can see this on like storefronts or for businesses. It's not, and it's been around long before the games, because it's actually from what it was the Hojo family mark or crest, and it was originally known as the 3 scales. So fish scales, dragon scales, I forget which one. It could be both. And then of course, a lot of shrines around the area that they occupied are going to have that symbol on its doors and its architecture and stuff like that. So you see a lot of people online going, I found the Triforce on this shrine. It's like, that's not the Triforce. It's the influence for the Triforce. I know it looks just like it, but it's not the Triforce.
Well, we've also seen it replicated and inspired in other games.
Yes.
When we were going through the most recent Silent Hill, Silent Hill F, which is a whole other thing we could talk about.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, yes.
In the Fox Shrine,
the Fox Shrine.
Yeah, in the Fox Shrine, on the doors, the Triforce, that symbol is emblazoned on some of those doors as they're going through.
And it's also part of some of the puzzles that you're in there. You have to flip over certain symbols to get through to certain areas. You got to match doors, stuff like that. And of course, we're both watching this, and we see that symbol pop up and go, "Oh, it's the Triforce."
Yeah, I know that.
I know that symbol is, but that is an ancient symbol in Japan. So ancient.
So which one of you has it on you? Like right now, I know that the audience can't see it, but who has a Triforce on them right now?
Technically both
of us.
Tattoos aren't counting.
Okay, then just her.
Then me.
Okay.
I have a necklace. It's a necklace that he gave me for Christmas a couple years ago.
Awesome.
Well, you have the whole Hylian crest on there.
I do.
Nice. I mean, for the people at home who don't know you personally, some of the Zelda that you represent, I mean, the shoes, the hoodies. I mean, it was just, it's always like, all right, here comes Scott and Alexis. Which one of them's going to rock the Zelda thing?
It's usually me.
Well, that's because Scott is too busy being Rick Moranis as Indiana Jones.
Look, just because that's true, doesn't
you don't
mean
do it on
that's
purpose.
True.
Right.
Again, I look like Rick Moranis if he gave up.
Which he did for a little while.
No, okay, I'm going to defend.
No. I'm not saying give up, but
Yeah. He quit. I didn't realize he was like 72.
Dude.
He looks great for 72.
I mean, yeah. And the fact that he's putting that giant helmet back on.
Man, if I could be that at 72, I'd be
absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. I'd like to be that now. 48, it's okay.
Although I just can't. Oh God, I can't even imagine Rick Moranis in the Zelda universe. Oh no, that'd be great.
No,
I gotta go kill that guy named Ganon, and all I got's this little sword.
Well,
I went over and talked to this fish person, and they gave me this other bottle. I think I gotta go take that over to the dragon.
That's the thing, though. He's not gonna be Link.
He's going to be like a beetle equivalent. Yeah, I'm about to say, he's going to be a beetle equivalent. I'm sorry. He's like, he'd be a perfect beetle.
Oh, no, that would be great. That absolutely would be great.
Yeah. Go ahead, Scott. We know you got it in you.
I have to now. I see you got some bugs on you. I really kind of like those bugs. I'll trade you. Oh, I'll take those little body parts too. I'm going to take those bones home and make some utensils out of them. I got a skull I use for soup, and I just need to make a spoon.
Honestly, we could just have you do, like characters for 2.5 hours, and it would probably be our most successful podcast ever.
Instead of you talking to yourself as like 4 different people for like 2 hours.
I've done that before.
Yeah, you have.
I've absolutely done that before.
And nobody locked you up for it.
No, I got paid for it, actually.
That's even better.
That's the bizarre part.
But let's roll back. I mean, we talked about the inspiration for the Triforce. Let's break it down for the people who don't know Zelda from Peach. Yeah, I mean, And again, I'm gonna throw it to you, Alexis, because I know you have notes.
I mean, I don't have very many, but like, what do you want to know?
All right, just break down the importance of the Triforce, the various embodiments of the parts of the Triforce, and why they want to bring them together.
Well, the three parts of the Triforce are, of course, your wisdom, power, and courage, and they are embodied in our three protagonists. Well, I say 2 protagonists in your antagonist, I guess you could say. So wisdom, of course, is represented by Zelda, courage by Link, of course, and then power is represented by Ganon. And then the reason to bring them all together is usually because at least in the older games, you could be granted a wish if you brought all 3 pieces together.
Okay.
And Ganon's usually the one that wants to do this because he's got in his head that he wants to rule and conquer Hyrule.
It's because he's the embodiment of power, and power corrupts.
Yes. He is basically what power does to people when they want too much. And of course, you have your human form of Ganon in Ganondorf Dragmar, which is his canon last name, I believe, or is it fan made? I forget. But then you have his beast form when he fully takes on that Triforce of power, and it just fully corrupts his person.
Right.
There are some theories that the different gods and goddesses of the area, they put the Triforces out and they gave them to these 3 specific people that'll always get these Triforces, the wisdom, the power, the courage, because if they ever really truly come together, then the world will end. And one of those theories is they keep resetting it, so then that way it never really truly comes to happen.
See, that's a new one to me.
You haven't heard that one?
Not yet. No, I've heard it now.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Hey.
So, which is why you have all the different games in the series, and of course, that's when you get into whole timeline talk and where people have their very heated opinions on what is considered, true timeline and whatnot. But as far as the Triforce goes, you can go back to its very beginnings where the Triforce was actually embodied by the goddesses. You have Din, Feoror, and Nehru. And then you've got Hylia, which she's not part of those 3 goddesses, but I forget if she's considered like the goddess of time or a goddess of light, or it really depends on the game.
Right.
And so,
well, even the Hylian crest, some people say she's representative of the bird.
Yeah,
holding all of the Triforces.
That is her.
All of them together.
That is her crest. Is the bird, because if anybody remembers Skyward Sword, she was in the beginning of that game. You have the opening story where she's like, I have to, she's trying to protect her people from the demon forces being led by Demise, and so what she ends up doing is, she's not able to use the Triforce because in the lore, since she's one of the deities, she technically can't use the Triforce.
Right.
It was not meant to be used by the gods.
Okay.
It was always meant to be used by the people of the surface or whoever. So that's why when we first meet our very first Zelda, she's actually the reincarnation of Hylia herself, so that she's able to use the Triforce in order to protect her people.
Now, I will say, as somehow complicated the lore of Zelda can be, it's got nothing on Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, let's not get into Kingdom Hearts.
No.
Oh my God.
We don't have time for that, man.
No.
It's like, I mean, there's no time limit on the podcast, but there's a time limit on trying to suss that out. Now, I do want to roll back for a second and go a little outside of the games again. You mentioned Skyward Sword.
Yes.
And can we talk a little bit about the controversy?
Which one?
The Link becoming right-handed.
Oh yeah.
I never played Skyward Sword.
Yes.
Because again, it was a system thing. I'm a working man with a mortgage, you know. It's like, hey.
Yes.
So when I saw people online arguing about, well, it can't be right, you know, Link's left-handed, and I'm seeing grown men like basically end friendships over this. It kind of lends to the fact that this lore, I mean, it's just something that's taken on a life of its own.
It really has. There are people who take this very, very seriously. If they think one way and you don't, they will make you very aware of it.
Yeah.
So that comes down to two things. When they originally designed Zelda, when they originally designed the game, and you first see Link, and he's holding the sword, you see it on your right, because that's kind of what we're used to.
Right.
In Skyward Sword, you were building a game based off of a completely different technical aspect. 80 to 85% of people are right-handed. So if you've got that controller in your hand, that Wii controller, most people are going to be using their right hand to swing the sword.
Yes.
And that's a technical limitation. And just sort of outside, they just made that decision to say, hey, this is what we're going to do because people are not going to be able to get this with their left. They're used to controlling the thumbstick and everything else with
Now, could you not switch him to being left-handed in the game if you yourself were left-handed?
I legitimately don't know.
Because I would think that'd be something you had to plan for.
Again, so the Wii, there were so many different issues between the Wii and the Wii U that on the technical side of things, when the Wii U was, before the Wii U came out.
We like to call it the doorstop.
Yeah. You had, one person had the extra little controller in their hand and everybody else was playing with everything. They tried to originally design the Wii U so that everybody in the room could have that own special controller. But they discovered that the Wi-Fi or broadband signals that were going from each console to the main Wii unit were so much that there was not enough air in the common size room for them to bounce freely, and they were interfering with each other.
I remember that
and they weren't
talk.
getting to the actual sensor. So they had to cut it down to one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a major problem with the Wii U, and that's the fact that at no point did somebody go, you know what would be a great port for the Wii U? Pac-Man Advance. The hours played with Pac-Man. Anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, back to the whole Link being left-handed. I think even like going back to the original game, depending on which way the sprite was facing, could tell you which if he was either left or right-handed. He could be both. I don't take my word for it, but then again, I think even on the sprite, you'd have to see which one was holding. I'd have to see which one was actually holding the shield because he's actually holding both. So,
and it was one of those. It was just designed that way.
Yeah.
In the beginning, that's just how it was designed.
That's just how it's designed. I think once Skyward Sword HD came out, which you could play on the Switch 1, you could do the controllers like handheld freestyle like you did with the Wii U, but then if you just wanted to play on the Switch itself, he's just automatically right-handed.
And it's one of the, because I've studied some sword play.
Yeah.
Some stunt sword fighting and actual fencing. And if you're good, you can learn both, but you're always going to end up going with your dominant.
Yeah.
And it almost, to me, doesn't matter if he's left-handed.
Yeah, kind of same. I do like it when he's left-handed because it kind of keeps some consistency, but then again, you kind of want your links to kind of differentiate from each other a little bit, especially from game to game.
Yeah, because they're all different with the exception of a couple of games, they're all different incarnations of Link.
Yes.
He doesn't always have to be left-handed. He doesn't always have to have that sandy blonde hair. He doesn't have to always... I'm not going to finish that sentence, but...
Right.
Yeah.
You have your different incarnations and your different things. So it's completely acceptable for him to change hands, completely acceptable to have different hair or wear a different costume.
Especially when you can dye them colors.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, the whole reason for him wearing blue in Breath of the Wild is you can actually see him.
Yeah. Until you start getting your different armors.
Well, but that was their explanation, at least for him starting off in the champion's outfit. I mean, yeah, you can. There is, I think, like a Hylian tunic you can get that you can just dye green if you really wanted to. But then, of course, you finish all the shrines in Breath of the Wild, and spoilers, you get the Hero of the Wild's tunic, which is very reminiscent of the original Link from Zelda 1.
And has pretty good stats, too.
It does.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know what the name of it is, but you basically end up looking like, you're just going on a hike. I don't care about whether I get killed or anything. Just put that on and climb mountains.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can just climb everywhere in that game.
There's the climber's gear,
Yeah.
which makes you climb faster. There is the swimmers that makes you swim up waterfalls and swim faster. There's the one for heat, the one for cold. And I think what I loved about Breath of the Wild, because we always joked about it, we called it Zelda Souls. Because, again, the game opens up and it's like, okay, go. Just like the first one. It's just, okay, go. And there are a few things in the game that say, hey, you do this, you're probably going to die. Like the second you walk into the first cold zone up on Hebra.
And you just start shivering.
You start shivering.
Yeah.
And then oh, here's some plants with some peppers. Let me read those. Oh, if I eat those, I can stay warm.
Or we try to go into the Gerudo Desert as your first area.
Oh.
I mean, you can probably if you know what you're doing, if you've played the game a few times, but the king himself does like, you might want to start over there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only a suggestion, but
it is the most accessible Dark Souls
it is.
of the games. And it has one of the largest maps. And you can absolutely just walk corner to corner if you want to.
If you want to, yeah.
And again, you can just lose so much time.
So much time. And that's just exploring, not actually accomplishing anything.
Yeah.
But they did a weird thing with Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know what happened. It's the same map, but I get lost. Breath of the Wild, I can wander around completely fine. Tears of the Kingdom, I'm pretty sure I know where I'm going, but I'm getting lost.
I think a lot of people have said that same thing. It's like, I know Breath of the Wild like the back of my hand, and suddenly I'm playing Tears of the Kingdom. It's the same map, and I'm getting lost turning this direction when I know it's supposed to be over here.
Yeah. And then Tears of the Kingdom I do give them credit, because they did not let us know how many maps were going to be in that game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everybody's like, oh, look, the Sky Islands and stuff like that, and try to connect to the Skyward Sword, which they didn't, which they, lost opportunity. But then
You're not bitter about that, though.
No, not at all. But then the depths get introduced.
Yeah, because you've got your sky, your land, and then you're under the world.
Which is phenomenal. Like, just having more stuff to explore, but it's like, and that's going to be probably one of my main gripes with Tears of the Kingdom, was that they did nothing with these things.
Yeah, there really wasn't much down there except go fight monsters, go find some hidden things.
Go find some treasure.
They did add a little bit of lore with the Bargainer statue.
Yeah.
Because the Bargainer statue is just another god that didn't exist and now does.
It's sort of like, was it supposed to be like an opposite to Hylia or something like that?
Well, the underworld map is completely inverse of the overworld.
Yes.
So where there's a mountain on the overworld, there's a divot in the underworld.
Yes, and I think where there's water, there's like a wall or something like that.
So again, as I haven't started Tears of the Kingdom yet, hearing you guys talk about it, is this just Mandela effect Breath of the Wild? Like there's a god that didn't exist before. Things that you remember being in specific places are now on the other side of other things.
It's possible because when you're playing Tears of the Kingdom, like you've played Breath of the Wild back and forth, like I said, doing like the back of your hand, and suddenly you play Tears of the Kingdom. In the game itself, Link will walk up to people that you've talked to in Breath of the Wild, and they're like, "Oh, who are you? Hi, I'm so and so." It's like I've been here, like you know me. I live here.
Yeah,
especially in Hateno Village.
Yeah, you've passed through the veil.
And that's exactly what it could be. It could be because we were trying to figure out when we were playing it. It is a sequel. There are a couple of people that remember you.
Yeah,
but
the important ones probably.
But most villagers don't. But then again,
well,
I'm gonna pull out the Back to the Future argument here.
Okay.
And everybody argues about Back to the Future, and they say, "How come Marty's parents didn't recognize him?" And I think it was Zemeckis who said, "Do you remember that person you were friends with for a week in high school?" No. So if Link were passing through a lot of these little towns or villages, there's a strong chance people might not remember him.
Oh yeah, if he's just passing through, they're not going to remember some like little twink with a ponytail probably.
But your main like Tulin remembers him, Sidon remembers him, the scientist lady, remember all the important characters.
Yeah.
All the important characters? Yeah,
all the important characters, yes.
Like the people who made you do things.
Yes.
Yeah.
The ones who are important at least to the story.
Yeah. And the underworld is a fascinating exploration.
Yeah.
But I think the main map of Tears of the Kingdom, it is the exact same thing. If you look at it, there's a couple of little minor things they changed here and there.
Right.
But everything is where it's supposed to be. Somehow, some way, in the development, in walking, or maybe with light or color or something, you're just not going to where you're supposed to go.
That could be anything. I have no explanation for it. I mean, the only thing I can recall is some of the devs are talking about how they really wanted this game to be accessible to everybody, even the ones who never played Breath of the Wild.
Then why'd they make the most aggressively frustrating upgrade system in the world?
You know what? Take it up with Nintendo.
Yeah. To upgrade a lot of your materials, your armor, your equipment, you need ore. You need diamonds, you need monster parts, you need all kinds of things.
Right.
And they are so rare and so hard to find, you are going to spend an inordinate amount of time. And I'm not a huge fan of weapon degradation. So you're going to lose a lot of your equipment trying to do it. And there were a couple of hacks that people figured out of how to replicate pieces.
Yeah.
Then they patched those out. So now if I want to upgrade my armor to the highest thing, which I need to if I got to go fight this boss, it is almost an unfun slog. And the second you take the fun out of it,
what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I will happily go kill Colgate 3 or 4 times. Because I'll listen to the music, I'll have fun. But if I have to go take out like the Lionels, the most aggressive things consistently just to get this one piece of armor upgraded, it's not fun.
Oh. Zelda's on her own. Forget it. I'm going home.
You waited this long.
Yeah. So before we wrap, Echoes of Wisdom.
I really wish more people would comment on that game or try to play it because, granted, it is a mainline game,
right?
And it's no Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, but they did something that people have been begging Nintendo to do for a long time: is have Zelda as a playable character. Now, granted, she is playable in some other games, but I don't think those are canon games.
Right.
So, like Hyrule Warriors is your biggest example where you can play as her. And
like any game where you can play 4 links, then it doesn't count.
No. But I think for Echoes of Wisdom, they were trying to do some kind of course correct. Because after that game came out, everybody's like, oh, this is amazing. I can play as Zelda. And, of course, she wasn't automatically a sword fighter or, a bow wielder or something. Yeah. She had her own thing, which I am very glad for. Yes, there's a point in the game where, spoilers, you find a sword and you can play as Link for a little while, left-handed. So I have to add that in because some people are going to be like mad about it, I guess.
Right.
But what surprised me and a lot of other people was after that was out for a while, they placed it on the timeline. Unlike Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, this got a timeline placement.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing was, because the argument I always hear against Echoes of Wisdom is, oh, the ending, it has to be Pygmalion because the man has to come in and fix it for the fights.
No.
Which it doesn't. You are given the tools as Zelda to win the fights.
Yes.
If you want to, you can hit the button and kill with sword.
Yeah.
But you have all the tools you need to, because you get magic and you get a special staff and you can recreate things you find in the world. Boxes, beds, benches, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to traverse really interesting environments in the voids that pop up.
Yeah.
And it's I don't even want to say it's a very different game. It's just a different side of the story.
Yes.
This is what she's doing while Link is over here trapped.
Yes.
And I think it was a perfectly fine game. You had a ton of fun playing it.
I did. It's actually the only Zelda game I've played to completion. So
you've played to completion.
That I've played to completion, yes. Granted, I've started other games. I started the Breath of the Wild playthrough, but I haven't picked it back up, unfortunately, because we actually played it together. So this was more just me messing around. But
oh my God, remember the end
of
it was Tears. Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, okay.
We get to the final fight with Ganon. And every enemy you fight in the game, their health bar appears on top of the screen.
Oh no.
And then Ganon's health bar starts to show up and then doesn't stop.
It keeps going.
And goes to the edge of the screen. And we're yelling at the TV like, you can't do that.
No,
That's
stop.
not allowed.
Stop. What are you doing? Where are you going? Come back here.
But
was good.
Getting
that was
back
so
to
good.
Echoes, I really do think people should give Echoes another shot if they haven't. Give it a chance. Let it, because it plays like the remake of Link's Awakening.
Yeah.
It's got the same art style. I think the same sprite work almost.
Yeah, same art style.
And it's perfectly fine. You get to explore the world from a different perspective.
And then of course you got the biggest lore drop in that game since, possibly Skyward Sword. And that is, if I'm free to say.
Yeah, go for it.
Is that
any game that's been out, for more than 6 months, you can spoil.
Oh, sure.
Because YouTube already did.
Yeah, I know. That's true. But the triangles that make up the Triforce, everybody was always suspecting for the longest time, what is that centerpiece? Is it a centerpiece? Is it the Tetraforce or some weird thing like that? I never dived too much into that, so I can't speak to it a whole lot.
Right.
But Echoes of Wisdom is like, yeah, no, we'll tell you what's there. You learn throughout the game that the Golden Goddesses created the world essentially to encapsulate and keep imprisoned this entity known as Null.
That doesn't sound good.
And so when you see the start of the game and you see all these rifts popping up, that's him trying to escape and basically eat the world up. So the Triforce as we see it, with the triangles arranged as they are, that middle is basically symbolic of Null's space and how they've got him imprisoned.
And then
it's the cage.
Essentially, yes.
And as you're playing the game, you get a little tiny companion called Tri.
Yes.
And Tri is kind of your tutorial thing. It's helping Zelda out way nicer than, hey, listen.
Poor Navi always gets a bad rap.
I know, but the very end of the game, they just drop one line of dialogue that completely changes the history of everything.
And that is?
Where Tri basically says, yeah, we kind of just rebuild the world when stuff happens, so see you later.
Yes, and that's the biggest thing I think people have not taken away from this game, other than Null, is the fact that right there could easily explain why each game looks so different from the other ones in world.
Right.
And there's pieces of the old world in this one.
Exactly. It's to try rebuilding stuff, but not always correctly.
They're knocking down the Lego set.
Exactly.
I was like, you've got all these pieces, they don't always fit together the same way.
Exactly.
Yeah. You've seen a broken coffee
It's an in-world explanation for why each game looks so different.
And
I dig it.
this is like one line of dialogue, one stupid line of dialogue just now threw a wrench into all of the history of the games.
Which basically takes the timeline and says, no, any one of these could be the first one.
Yep.
Except for the ones that we know are direct sequels.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I personally like the timeline placements, but that's maybe for a few exceptions here and there. But, that's a whole nother discussion.
But it makes it seem like that was thrown in there really just to mess with those guys who are online and like chronically online about the timeline.
Yeah.
There's one thing, though, about Zelda that has always bugged me. From the very first time I ever played the first game. How did he get there? Curtain opens, and there he is, center of that first screen. There's no towns. There's no nothing. He's just there.
He's just there. Well, if it's anything like, Miyamoto's experiences as a child, he was just exploring.
I guess so.
He was just exploring.
Who hasn't just woken up in the middle of nowhere with no knowledge of how you got there?
Did I mention earlier I'm a performer?
And they put you on stage, man.
So the answer for that is absolutely I have, yeah.
Ooh. So any parting thoughts before we wrap this thing up?
I think that we all need to give a little more credit to games. They have been getting more and more inventive, more and more innovative, and the stories have hit more and more, and they're touching on a lot deeper topics. And we don't need to just be looking at mainstream games or AAA games or even AA games. There are some incredible indie games that talk about stories or talk about topics and do them in incredibly inventive ways that absolutely deserve the time to put into them.
Alexis?
I think for the Legend of Zelda series overall, and I don't know exactly how to put this into words, but I will try my best. And I don't think it would have had the staying power unless it was for the people who play those games, the fans, and the ones who would go online and make theories and talk about stuff and just kept this whole thing alive.
Building the lore
and figuring out, because I always said that all these games are a puzzle in and of themselves, especially once the timeline was revealed. Because, okay, we're never going to have all the information that Nintendo has. I've always said to myself that they've got some master list, some master timeline somewhere, because their biggest thing is gameplay first, story second. And I get that. But I think overall, there's so many fan works out there that, in between games that people can just, play in these sandboxes. I have so many things that I follow just because the series itself brings me so much joy, but there's always more that I want, and the fans are there.
Yeah.
And the fans are kind.
Yes.
The fans they create communities that are incredibly supportive. They share art, they share stories, they share recipes.
Yes.
They share all different kinds of things. It's a wonderful creative community where you don't have to know every single thing about the games to go in and join.
It's probably one of the oldest fandoms I know of out there, other than, say, maybe like Star Trek, Star Wars.
Right. And genuinely probably one of the first genuine fandoms that came strictly from games.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure Mario can really say anything to that. So.
It does not have the same kind of fandom.
Yeah.
Sonic, maybe?
Sonic is close.
After you had, especially the comics, well, depending if it's IDW or Archie. Again, another show. Yeah. But I don't know of how many that have had concerts dedicated to just the franchise and as big as they have been and as wonderful as they've been.
Yes. So yeah, that's my take on it.
Cool. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed this edition of GTR Beyond the Tank. It's been a long time since we've done one of these, and hopefully it won't be nearly as long before we do the next one, because Scott will harangue me until we do. Anyways, for Scott and Alexis, I am Brandon Olmstead signing off.